This weekend, while most of us were watching the marathon or the series or trick-or-treating with the kids, Rush Limbaugh went on another rant against the president. Listen to this.
He's very young. I think he's got an out-of-this-world ego. I think he's very narcissistic. And he's able to focus all attention on him all the time. That description is simply a way to cut through the noise and say he's immature, inexperienced, in over his head.
With me now, Arianna Huffington, co-founder and editor-in-chief of the Huffington Post, and Katrina Vanden, the editor and publisher of The Nation. I mean, this is unbelievable, isn't it, that this guy is talking about narcissism? And it was such a humble guy himself.
But it's also unbelievable that Fox would put him on for half an hour on a Sunday morning show to basically just rant against the president, against the administration, against everything, without really challenging him. That was really...
He did not really challenge him. I agree with that.
Well, with all due respect, I mean, that's fine. I mean, but this made a softball interview. I mean, this was more than a softball interview. This was sycophantic. I mean, Chris Wallace was like lapping up every word. And it went unchallenged. And you got a guy, Rush Limbaugh, who, you know, he's a bully, and he has a bully pulpit on his radio show every day.
Right.
And here he is getting half hour on allegedly a news channel. And what he had to say was not really new. I mean, he's out there to kind of, you know, cripple, delegitimize, take down the president, and this is not new.
To me, he just looks like another angry white guy, you know, who's just annoyed that they're out of power, and it's annoying to him.
Well, but what's happening is that he's really tapping into that anger that's spreading about what's happening. That's what is dangerous. You know, whenever job numbers get to where they are now, you know, moving into double-digit unemployment and foreclosures are skyrocketing, all that anger is there, and if it's not addressed properly, it can be addressed, and it has been throughout history by demagogues, by people who manipulate it and who look for scapegoats, and that's really the only problem.
He tried to play nice, though, during the interview. Listen to this part, and we'll keep going.
I'm an American. I love this country. I want everybody in it to do well.
Except gays, single mothers, senior citizens, poor people, and the president.
This guy, I mean, first of all, he looked a little too coiffed, I thought, for Rush Limbaugh. There was a metrosexual quality there that worried me, because I like metrosexual, and he's looking it. But, I mean, the Rush Limbaugh, I mean, he also told lies. I mean, he said at one point, totally unchallenged, that this healthcare reform is going to take 1/6 of the economy and put it in government hands.
I know.
Fact check alert. I mean, you might get 6 million people on a public option if you're lucky. Yeah. And, you know, that's part of the problem with our media generally.
He should have really checked
Well, his father has to be, you know, just like wondering the degradation of news embodied
It's
in a
shocking
family.
to me that Chris Wallace, because I thought that he was, you know, pretty even, you know, fair and balanced, the only one over there. Maybe Shepard Smith, maybe.
Allowing him to go on saying that the president doesn't care about Afghanistan, that all that stuff, you know, it's just over the top.
He also said that I hope he fails. I hope he fails. And then he says, I love America. You know, it's just, it's quite disgusting.
But he's been saying that for so long, to count that as news. I mean, we need to hear it again and again to understand that a guy who challenges others as being anti-American is saying some ugly stuff.
Yeah.
But he's out. I mean, the thing that strikes me about this moment, and Rush Limbaugh kind of brings it onto the Fox News program, is the Republicans have declared this is all-out war. All-out war. You could have had a different kind of approach, but all-out war on Obama. He's leading it, and they really do want to take him down. I mean, we're 1 year into it.
Say that because everybody's saying that Obama is conducting an all-out war against Fox and Limbaugh.
I think that...
So it's a question of who threw the first grenade.
Well, I think the Obama administration, I mean, challenged what they're doing, and now it's time to move on. You know, it's not really a good use of their resources.
Axelrod is saying that it's a surreal day when you're getting lectures on humility from Rush Limbaugh. I mean, do they really? Is this a good strategy to attack?
I don't think so. I think there are so many real issues affecting the people that to focus on what Fox is doing is really beneath them.
Right.
And they handle that much better during the campaign, you know, to pick your targets. And Fox is not a worthy target.
I agree with Arianna. I mean, I felt from the very beginning when this sort of started that you demean the presidency. Let others do it. Far outside. And, you know, focus on ending or the jobless figures, getting people jobs, because
both?
then you defang or defuse these guys. Well, no, but I think Fox, it is true Fox is not really a news organization. It really isn't. It is an adjunct wing of the GOP propaganda arm. At the same time, the president should not get into the mud with a network that is essentially filled with people throwing mud.
But he appeals to the very, very extreme base of the Republican Party, this guy, right?
Who, Rush?
Rush Limbaugh. Okay. And this moderate GOPer upstate New York, I can hardly say her name, Skotsafava.
Didi.
Afava beans. Didi Skotsafava. Okay, she was a moderate Republican, and now she's withdrawn from the race. Isn't this sort of leaving the mental mental patients in charge of the mental...
lunatics in charge of the asylum?
That's it. Yeah. Thank you for putting words. I can't even get through this. But don't you think that that's what it is?
Well, it is, and they're paying a heavy price for that. You know, right now, according to the latest NBC Wall Street Journal poll, you have 17% of Americans who declare themselves Republican. Mind you,
how many?
17%.
17?
Yes, so it's down to 17%.
But every time I turn on the TV, they're saying that the liberals are down to 20%.
Well, you see, the
so
liberals,
who else is left
liberals
there?
have a problem too, because the ones who are gaining are independents. So you have 44% who declare themselves as independents. Congress's approval rating is 21%. I think maybe that's what you are referring to. So there is no question that Democrats cannot just say, oh, look at what's happening to Republicans. We are going to be fine in 2010.
Isn't this good for the Democrats?
You know what?
That it's being marginalized like that?
First of all, I think of the Republican Party, people used to call it the log cabin. You now got a sliver of a log, and the Republicans are pushing people into the water who won't sign on to their ideological purity test. But, you know, I have to say, I think it's bad for the country. It's bad for the country because we deserve at least two decent political parties that have something on their mind, that care about an affirmative political agenda. And I think they're just these Republicans who won't allow a moderate Republican to get elected in the Northeast. They're going to consign themselves to permanent minority status.
Good.
But the Republicans, the moderate Republicans...
I don't have a problem with that, do you?
Well, moderate Republicans played a role. They were for choice. They were, you know, they made sense.
The log cabin Republican.
But what if these people come back into power?
For Hitler.
But I think it's premature to declare any kind of victory because there's still a lot that's going to happen in the next year before the next election. And unfortunately, the dissatisfaction that's growing means that any independent, as we're seeing in New Jersey, is likely to siphon off a lot of support.
What's going to happen over there? Let's look at this ad about Christie.
Christie threw his weight around as U.S. attorney and got off easy. If you didn't pay your taxes, ignored ethics laws, would you get away with it? Chris Christie. One set of rules for himself, another for everyone else.
Okay, threw his weight around. Is that a fat joke or what? Is it or not? Come on.
Definitely a fat joke.
It's a fat joke?
Definitely a
But
fat
that's
joke.
really the whole conversation is about now the fat joke and about him being fat. It doesn't make any sense.
Not necessary. You know what? I don't think he had to go there.
He didn't have to go there.
No, he absolutely did not have to go there.
Did he have to go there?
No,
Katrina?
he didn't have to go there. But you know, this
you
race,
like Corzine, right?
I like Corzine, and I think this race shows that he is running as close as an Obama campaign is. You know what I mean? Because we're all talking about referendum. This is going to be a referendum on this. I think the race upstate New York, it's been a Republican seat for like 100 years, right? It's going to be a barometer of where the Republicans are heading, not a barometer of what people are thinking about Obama. I think Virginia is crazy. The guy is a right-winger to the whatever, and he's running as like a little sheep. And you notice Palin, they don't want Palin in there, which is interesting. But he's running as a problem solver. New Jersey is where Corzine, who knows what will happen in New Jersey. But I think he's run a race where he's bringing out the base, the liberal base, the African-American base, the labor base.
Rush Limbaugh is saying that Obama will be a one-term president. Agree or disagree?
Oh, nobody knows. That's
what
ridiculous.
Do you think?
We don't know. You see, I think it depends on how he governs. You know, the point is that he wrote a book called The Audacity of Hope.
Right.
His campaign manager, David Plouffe, has a book coming out tomorrow called The Audacity to Win.
To win.
And yet they're governing very timidly. He needs to actually also discover the audacity of governing. And when he discovers that, he'll win again.
It's always the alternative. Who's the alternative?
There is no alternative. Sarah Palin.
Yeah.
Thanks, ladies.